Let's talk about underrated romantasies that I want to read. I wanted to do this video because, especially on BookTube, I'm not on Bookstagram or BookTok, but especially on BookTube, we can see a lot of the same books being read by various creators, and so I wanted to talk about like more underground books, like less known. So I have 12 books to talk about. I wanted to talk about like new-ish releases that not a lot of people have read or talked about. The first book I want to talk about is Erotic Behavior by E.C. Klein or Glynn. It has like a 4.39 ratings on Goodreads with like 165 ratings at the time that I did my research. In this one you follow Mila, who's been accused by the church of being like a demon, and so now she has to be sacrificed to the god king Midas, so it's kind of a retelling of the Midas story. But she's saved at the last minute by a princess of another kingdom, and she wants Mila to be her servant, to be like an entertainer to her court, with the power she has. I don't know what kind of power she has. Maybe it was in the synopsis, but I haven't written it in my notes. So yeah, she's hired or like taken by the princess to be like a court jester, I think. And at some point there's like a merchant prince who comes to the court, and they're probably gonna fall in love, and they're probably gonna find some secrets. The first one in this series is out, and the second one comes out in October. And I also really like the cover. It's like very stained glass type of cover, so I really enjoy it. The second book I want to talk about is Sanctuary by Bree Lewandowski. I think that's how you pronounce it. It has 3.97 star ratings and 7 ratings in reviews. And in this one you follow Petra, who wants to find out why and how her brother was killed. He was like courrier to the crown. I'm gonna say the word courrier in French because I have a really hard time saying it with an English accent. He was a loyal courrier to the crown, and so she wants to find out why he was killed. And at some point there's like a festival of the late harvest that's happening, and there she meets like a captain of the guards, and she realized that this captain knew of her brother and maybe they had a friendship or something like that. But then at some point she becomes sacrificed to something because of the captain of the guard she found. The synopsis is very vague, and it's like plot twisty, but you don't really know what's happening because it's a synopsis. But when I read some reviews, a lot of people talked about the plot twist that's happening, and that it was very like shocking plot twist. So that's why I'm really excited about this one. And also I really like the cover. It's a planned trilogy, and only the first one is out. The third one I'm gonna talk about is The Broken Kingdoms of Osvolta by Bretherton. It has a 4.14 rating with 92 ratings. And in this one you follow Solveig, who's a princess, and she has the power to draw water from the bodies of people. So now she became kind of a weapon to her kingdom. And at some point she has to team up with another kingdom's prince, and they both have to find out why there's like a curse on people with magic, and so a lot of people are dying, and she's someone with magic, so she has to find out why there's a curse so she doesn't die. Apparently it's a grumpy female main character and a sunshine male main character, and I really enjoy this kind of trope because I'm a very grumpy person. And it's rare that we find like female main character who are grumpy, so yeah, I'm excited for this kind of representation. And I don't know if it's a planned series, I only know that there's this book. The next one I'm going to talk about is Serpent and the Throne by Brien. It has a 3.81 star rating with 47 ratings. So in this one we are in the kingdom of Fedosia, and there's like 9 great house of alchemy. There's a Red Shield that hates the white guards, they both hate each other. This kind of hatred made me think of Romeo and Juliet, and I love Romeo and Juliet. In this one you follow Sophia, who's a guard, and she has been summoned to attend the prince's birthday party. But there, Sophia falls for the captains of the Sentinels, who's also the queen's nephew, but he's also a shield, like her enemy, and is also 10 years younger than her, so I'm quite excited to read this one. Again, it's pretty rare that we see female main character who's older than the male main character, so I'm excited for this one, and all 4 books of this series are already out. For the 5th book, I'm gonna talk about Marked by Ash by Candice Corner. It has a 4.25 star with 36 ratings on Goodreads. So in this one you follow Princess Eida, who's on her way to meet her betrothed who's in another kingdom, and she also has a guard with her who's been demoted, so it's kind of a punishment for him to be on this mission. But if he succeeds this mission, he gets reinstated and he's placed back in the army. But the journey doesn't go very smoothly, because at some point they meet like a group of magic users who wants to do them harm, and then they both wake up in another place. They don't know where they are, they don't know if they are in the same kingdom or what happened for them to be here. So now they have to find a way to get back to the kingdom they were supposed to go to. The first book in this series is already out, and the second one comes out later this year. The next one I'm gonna talk about, I don't think it's romantasy, I think it's just a fantasy. It's called A War Apart by Dakotah Gumm. It has a 4.11 star and 9 ratings. In this one I really like the concept because I thought it was quite original. So in this one you follow Han, who comes back wounded from battle, and his wife Myla heals him. But at some point they realize that the peace that they finally have is like in danger, so they decide to take matters in their own hands and infiltrate some groups to know what's happening. So Han will infiltrate a magic wielders group, and Myla will infiltrate the enemy's castle. So yeah, I'm really interested in this story because I don't feel like we see a lot about the after of a battle and what can happen after, and also the fact that a couple can be separated and the story will be about their love, but not especially like their blossoming love and their blossoming romance. So I'm excited to read this one. For the 7th one, I'm gonna talk about House of Secrets and Vows by Genna Ashwood. It has a 4.10 star rating with 79 ratings, and in this one you follow Zarya, who's a priestess, and she is also part of the resistance. So since she's a priestess, she has a lot of information when people come to her to talk about their problems or stuff they have to go through. And she has a lot of problems with the crown, otherwise there wouldn't be resistance. And we also follow Prince Nevan, who's the heir to the throne, and is part of the most vicious house of the kingdom. And at some point Zarya becomes the official priestess of the kingdom, of the court, so she becomes priestess to Prince Nevan. And this position to Zarya to be the priestess of the crown offers her a lot more opportunities to know more secrets and to also enact vengeance. So I'm excited for this one. The first and the second book of the series are out. I don't know how long this series will be, but yeah, at least the first 2 are out. For the 8th one, I'm gonna talk about The Well of Eida by Benson. It has a 4.27 star rating with 222 ratings. In this one we follow Harry, who was taken as a prisoner to the troll realm, and I really like the fact that there are trolls because I feel like in Romantasy you don't see a lot of that. And she's been prisoner for 2 years, and during those 2 years she becomes the Troll King's mercenary, but now she's been sold to the kingdom of Eida. There's so many possibilities of the pronunciation. And she's been sold to the most notorious training masters, and now she has to fight in an arena. And apparently she has a beast inside of her. I think this is the only YA book in my list, but apparently it's YA but quite dark. The first and the second one in this series are out. I don't know how long it will be, but yeah. The first two are out. For the 9th book, I'm gonna talk about Vows Forged in Blood by K.D. Miller. It has a 4.4 star rating with 123 ratings. And I put this one on the list because it made me think a lot, the synopsis made me think a lot about the story in Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Rorig. I DNF'd this book because to me it was just abuse, and it was just like, it was a miserable book, like you just felt miserable reading the story. And so I DNF'd it, I think I had like 50%. And the story in Vows Forged in Blood follows kind of the same premise in the fact that the vampires have to choose consorts, but human consort, so they can have like a human blood bag with them every time. And in this one it's the blacksmith daughter who becomes a blood consort to the prince until she dies. So that's why I wanted to talk about this book, and that's why I'm also interested in this kind of story, because I liked the premise in Reign in Shadows and Endings, but I didn't like the execution, so maybe in this one I will enjoy it. The next book I'm gonna talk about is Beyond the Darkness by Kenzie Compton. It has a 3.9 star rating with 31 ratings. So we are in the kingdom of Orisia, who's the last kingdom standing after a plague like killed almost everybody. A cure was found, but now the plague transformed, and now there's like hounds who comes to the kingdom to kill everybody, and the hounds can be like dogs, but they can also have wings, so it's a lot of threats every time. And we follow Erlin, who lost her parents due to the plague, so she became a thief, and at some point she goes behind a wall who protects the city, who protects the kingdom, and she was expecting darkness because there's a plague and there's like creatures who wants to kill them. But surprisingly she finds friendship, love, but also secrets. And we also follow Everett, who's the heir to the throne, but he's not the most preferred, like, child of the king, so he's sent on a mission also beyond the wall, and this mission consists of finding a sword that could help kill the hounds, so it's quite important. Since the characters are both beyond the wall, they're probably gonna meet there and probably find some new secrets, and yeah, I'm excited to read this one. For the second to last book, I'm gonna talk about Monster of the Dagger by Meredith Hart. It has a 4.15 star rating with 233 rating, and in this one you follow Resnick, who's a monster, and he has killed a god, and now he has his powers, so he has become quite dangerous to everybody. And at some point he comes across a mercenary camp, and he decides to infiltrate this camp. But then he found Kira, who was a mercenary, and she was tasked to find and kill the monster who killed the god, so she is tasked to kill Resnick. They both decide to seduce each other for different reasons, so Resnick wants to seduce Kira to gain some information, and Kira wants to seduce Resnick to kill him, to have easy access to him, but they're probably gonna fall in love, and they're probably gonna find a way for him to survive, but I'm excited to read this one. And the last book I'm gonna talk about is Holy Wrath by Victoria Mier, and it has a 4.46 star rating with 83 rating. And this one is a sapphic romantasy, and we love sapphic stories, especially romantasies or fantasies. And in this one you follow Ophelia, who's a healer, and she wants one of the saints to claim her, meaning that if a saint claims you, you have powers. Even if you're mortal, they give powers to mortal they find like worthy. And so she's a healer, and she's been tasked to care for a prisoner, and to her it's like the perfect occasion for one of the saints to notice her and to grant her power. But the prisoner she has to take care of is the Umbra Knight. It's like a knight of an enemy's kingdom. So Ophelia thinks that if she can convert the soul of this prisoner, one of the saints will grant her power, but the prisoner, the knight, is like, actually your god and your saints are liars, you've been lied all your life, and this is the truth. But then Ophelia finds out some secrets that made her realize that maybe the knight is saying the truth, and that what she believed all her life has been a lie. So I'm excited to read this one, and especially since it's a sapphic romantasy. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, this book concludes the video. I hope you found some new books you could be interested in, some books you can add to your TBR, and I hope I'll enjoy them. I hope if you read them, you'll also enjoy them. And yeah, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!